So welcome to the UK News Today. Today we have news that I can't afford petrol. Thousands of nurses protest against biggest ever NHS staffing crisis. Around 2,000 NHS workers took a day off as annual leave to join a raucous demonstration in a Parliament Square at MP's return for the first Prime Minister question since the summer recess. 1,000 of nurses traveled to London from all four corners of Britain to protest against the biggest staffing crisis in NHS history. Around 2,000 NHS workers took a day off as an annual leave to join a raucous demonstration in Old Parliament Square as MPs return for the first Prime Minister's question since summer recess. First nurses took a break from working long hours over the street was to deliver a boycott message to government straight the came. The Tories below inflation 1% public sector pay cap has caused nurses' wages to plummet in real terms by £3,000 or 14% since 2010. Single mom Barbara Kombe, 44, a health visitor, lives in two-bed concealed flat in southeast London and takes home £1,800 per month, including overtime. She has worked in nursing for the NHS for 14 years. She has not been able to afford a holiday abroad since 2012, that was to attend a funeral. She works extra bank shifts as a locum every other weekend to make ends meet for her and her 17-year-old son. She said, "I have to borrow people's oyster travel cards sometimes to get around London. I try around in the community, but sometimes you can't afford the petrol, and so you end up asking for help. Every year I have promised my son next year will be better, next year we'll have a holiday, but it has not come." Chris Edwards John, 50, works in South Wales Hospital and has been a nurse for 31 years. He said, "I have never known morale to be so slow in the nursing industry across the UK. More and more nurses are suffering with the mental health problems due to the pressure. We are being asked to do more and more every day with the less and less people. More people are now leaving than joining the industry, meaning there is not enough patient care. Yes, we are here because we can't pay our mortgage, but also because we want to protect our patient and NHS. I have been to the government come and go when Labour is in power, when we see the investment, when the Tories are in it, cut. Nurse Amina took the stage to explain how the crippling pay restraint means she lives with her husband and 4 children in one-bed flat in southeast London. As you know, 34 said, "When I get back from the 12-hour shift, it's not fair. We can't afford to live somewhere where I'm about to get a good night's sleep. We are professional, but we are being taken for granted. We are so overstretched because people are exhausted and going off sick. All the senior, more experienced nurses are leaving the patient." The OCN said there has been a real time for 14% in nursing pay in 2010. Thank you very much for listening to the UK News Today. I hope you enjoyed this news. Please subscribe our channel to get more news. Thank you. So welcome to the UK News today. Today we have news that boy 4 dies after being crushed into death by iron gate while holiday visiting family in Italy. Angelo Quanarno was 3 days into a trip to see Italian relatives when the tragedy happened. The boy was crushed by an iron gate while visiting a family. A boy of 4 from Manchester has died after being crushed by an iron gate while on holiday visiting family in Italy. Little Angelo Quanaro from Crispa was visiting family near Rome when the tragedy happened on Saturday afternoon. His uncle and some neighbors are said to have gone to help when they heard screams but found the young girls unconsciously. According to the local reports, the incident happened as a party the family had hired in the coastal district of Nazaré, about 40 miles south of Rome. Some 3 days into the family trip to visit Italian relatives, an ambulance was scrambled to the scene, and medics are said to have attempted to resuscitate the youngster for more than 45 minutes. The boy was due to start school in North Manchester next month. Reportedly suffered injuries to his head and collarbone, reports Manchester Evenings. Italian media reported that Angelo was on holiday with his mother, brother, and little sister at the time. They were staying in the rented property in the residential district of Manchester. His father is said to have taken the first available flight from Manchester to Italy when he learned the news. An investigation is underway into how the 200 kilograms sliding iron gate toppled onto the child as he played football with his older brother. Local police have cordoned off the villa as the investigation continues. It was the first time the villa had been hired out, and according to reports, that Amino, Equal, and Mamri Rabata are believed to have moved Angelo and his older brother to Manchester in 2015, having previously been lived in Nazaré. No one was available for comment at the family home in North Manchester last night, but one friend of the family, who is part of Manchester Italian community, said, "I feel sick. It absolutely breaks my heart. I have a son the same age, and Angelo would have been going to school in a couple of weeks." Thanks you very much for listening to the UK News today. I hope you enjoyed this news. Please subscribe our channels to get more news. Thank you. So welcome to the UK News today. Today we have news that boy 4 dies after being crushed into death by iron gate while holiday visiting family in Italy. Angelo Quanarno was 3 days into a trip to see Italian relatives when the tragedy happened. The boy was crushed by an iron gate while visiting a family. A boy of 4 from Manchester has died after being crushed by an iron gate while on holiday visiting family in Italy. Little Angelo Quanaro from